Here are the answers for the Day 2 warm-up. On the screen, you see several key chemistry principles. Number 1, the number of sublevels in a principal energy level is equal to the quantum number of that principal level. Number 2, sublevels come in 4 types, S, P, D, and F. The 4 sublevels are differently shaped regions of space that hold electrons around the nucleus of an atom. For example, a spherical shaped region of space holding electrons is called an S sublevel, or a dumbbell shaped region of space holding electrons is called a P sublevel. Third principle, S sublevels have 1 atomic orbital. P sublevels have 3 atomic orbitals. D sublevels have 5, and F sublevels have 7. Notice the odd numbers there, 1, 3, 5, 7. The fourth principle, an atomic orbital contains at most 2 electrons. So question A, what is the maximum number of electrons that can be located in the 1s sublevel? An S sublevel has 1 orbital. An orbital can have at most 2 electrons. So the maximum number of electrons that fit in the 1s sublevel is 2 electrons. Question B, what is the maximum number of electrons that can be located in the 2p sublevel? 6 electrons. P sublevels have 3 orbitals. Each orbital can have at most 2 electrons. 2 times 3 is 6 electrons. Question C, what is the maximum number of electrons that can be located in the 3rd principal energy level? Well, how many orbitals are in the 3rd principal energy level? The 3rd principal energy level consists of sublevels, 3s, 3p, and 3d. The 3s sublevel has 1 orbital. The 3p sublevel has 3 orbitals. The 3d sublevel has 5 orbitals. And each orbital can have at most 2 electrons. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9 total orbitals. 9 times 2 is 18 electrons. Question D. An element's electrons have filled 3 principal levels and filled the 4s and 4p sublevels. How many electrons does it have, and what element is it? Based on that description, there are 36 electrons. Looking on the periodic table, the element that is atomic number 36 is krypton. Now, how did I know there were 36 electrons? The first principal level has 1 sublevel called 1s, which means that there's 1 orbital, which means it can hold 2 electrons. The second principal level has 2 sublevels called 2s and 2p. The 2s sublevel has 1 orbital, the 2p sublevel has 3 orbitals, so there are 4 orbitals. Each orbital can have at most 2 electrons, so 8 electrons fit in that level. The third principal level is made out of sublevels, 3s, 3p, and 3d. That's a total of 9 orbitals. Each orbital can hold 2 electrons, so 18 electrons fill that level. We're also told that there are some electrons in the 4th principal level. The 4s and 4p sublevels have been filled. 4s sublevel has 1 orbital, the 4p sublevel has 3 orbitals, so there are 4 orbitals that have been filled with electrons. 4 times 2 is 8 electrons. 2 electrons are in the 1st principal level, 8 electrons are in the 2nd principal level, 18 electrons are in the 3rd principal level, and there are 8 electrons in the couple sublevels from the 4th principal level. That adds up to 36 electrons.